Good morning, beautiful, beautiful black people. I hope that all is well in your world, and this day will become one of the most successful days in your life for you and all of your wonderful, intelligent black loved ones. Just have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day in late June of the year 2020, right here on this plantation called America, in the midst of all of the terror and chaos that we are confronted with. And when you are black like me and like you, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters, that terror and chaos is tenfold. And it isolates us. It puts us under an umbrella where only black folks, people that look like me, have to deal with the terror and the chaos every day of our lives. That terror and chaos that is specific to black folks, we have to deal with. And we do a wonderful job. We're very successful at it. And again, in the midst of it all, we always find our black joy. And our black joy is what inspires the resistance, the hope, the survival of us, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The name is William Dawson. William Dawson, Dawson. He was a musical composer. He was a symphony organizer. On November the 20th, 1934, a brand new symphony brought a Carnegie Hall audience to its feet. The concert featured the Philadelphia Orchestra, and that orchestra was led by its star. It was a white boy, conductor Leopold Stokowski. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Leopold Stokowski. The music was called the Negro, Negro, folk symphony. And it was presented by a 35-year-old black man named William Dawson. He was called back to the stage several times to take bows after his symphony ended. And then the white boy, Stokowski, conducted 4 back-to-back performances of William Dawson's piece, one of which was nationally broadcast by then CBS Radio. One New York critic called it the most distinctive and promising American symphonic proclamation which has so far been achieved. That's what the white boys said about William Dawson's symphony back then. They said that William Dawson's music had dramatic feeling. It was racially sensuous. Music can be very, very sensuous. Hence is why in a lot of romantic situations you can hear music playing, or the people involved have music playing. Music is very, very sensuous, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. His music had dramatic feelings and racial sensuous overtones. And the directness of the melodic speech. And most black voices are very, very melodic. melodic, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Hence is why you always have those white folks trying to emulate, copy, practice, so that they can sound more melodic as black folks do. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The immediate success should have made William Dawson a household name, and it should have propelled him to write more symphonic work. But after just a handful of performances over the next 18 months, the symphony inexplicably dropped off the radar, and Dawson never wrote another. After decades of neglect, a new recording of the Negro Folk Symphony has finally released this week, performed by the Vienna Radio Symphony Orchestra. Someone finally remembered the very talented genius, a black man, William Dawson. By the way, he was a graduate of Tuskegee University, Tuskegee Institute, and he also went back to Tuskegee and taught there for years, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Do a little bit of research and look for William Dawson, a very talented composer, a musical genius, by the way. Know this, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. White folks worship guns. They worship guns. They value guns more than they do their lives. They certainly value guns more than they do our lives, the lives of black folks, people that look like me. Hence is why you see these white folks. They have these huge gun shows. They have them all across the country, especially right here on this plantation called America. They have these huge gun shows where white folks just pour into these shows to see guns, to try guns out, to buy guns. It's like a drug addiction. Guns to white folks are likened to a drug addiction. It's like the opioid addiction that a lot of white folks have. And by the way, they won't tell you that opioid addiction is primarily a white folks addiction. Just like they refused to tell us years ago that heroin and cocaine addiction was mostly white folks. They took that ownership and they placed it on black folks, especially once they manufactured crack cocaine specifically to be distributed in black communities to cause black folks to become drug addicted to crack cocaine and to cause black folks to become big-time crack cocaine drug dealers, to cause black folks to turn on each other, to kill each other, to rob each other, to assault each other. That's been the story, policies, and laws created by white folks to demonize, to do genocide on black folks, people that look like me. They worship guns. They worship guns. They value guns more than they do their lives and our lives, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. They worship power and money. Take a look at the U.S. Senate. It's almost lily white because those senators are given tremendous powers and they're given access to millions of taxpayer dollars. They're given access to inside information that you and I will never have access to. They worship power and money, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The U.S. Senate, politicians, Wall Street, the Fortune 500s, the big banks, the big oil companies, they're all driven by power and money. It has nothing to do with love and compassion for the rest of us. It's all about money and power, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. And my beautiful black brothers and sisters, know that self-hatred have to be dealt with among us, black folks, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers. brothers and sisters. Self-hatred is displayed in the lives of too many black folks every day. What do you think is being displayed when so many black folks are trying to adhere to that fake ass, phony, ridiculous beauty standard that white folks have created? And every day, still, on the 29th of June of the year 2020, we still have too many black folks trying to look more European, relaxing their hair, weaving their hair, gluing dead hair onto their live hair, weaving dead hair into their live hair, wearing blonde wigs, purple wigs, etc., etc. Anything to get to a place where they can look in the mirror and think that their hair is straight, textured, and lying on their shoulders, blowing in the wind like that animal-like texture white folks' hair, European hair, does. To me, from my perspective, that's all self-hatred, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. It's all about self-hatred. When I look in the mirror, I see Hank Thrasher. And when I look in the mirror, I'm proud of Hank Thrasher. When I look in the mirror, I am inspired to display, to present to my children, to my family, to my community, to my racial group, and to the world, a natural, a genuine, and an authentic representation of who Hank Thrasher is. No fakery, none of that stuff. Just straight up, natural, genuine Hank Thrasher. And when I open my mouth, you will know that I am not one that you can negatively stereotype. I am not one that adheres to a program. I am not one that has been socially engineered, suffering from Stockholm syndrome to the nth degree. Self-hatred is self-destruction. Self-destruction is self-genocide, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Black police chiefs have 70% less murders of black folks by white cops. Did you know that? Black police chiefs, law enforcement agencies that has black police chiefs, in those agencies, studies and research have shown that there are 70% less murders, public lynchings of unarmed black folks by racist white cops when the police chief is black. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Research have always shown that diversity in the workplace enhances things. It changes things. It makes things better. It makes companies more successful. It makes employees more happier. It gives a environment of a very positive type morale. When the police chief is black, you're going to have less, at least 70% less murders of unarmed black folks by racist white cops. There will be no changes. There will be no changes in our political system, in our economic status, in any activity that black folks have to be active in, within. There will be no changes until these crazy, racist white boys and white girls are sufficiently replaced with black folks and people of color. There will be no changes as long as the U.S. Senate is 99 9/10% white. There will be no changes in the attitudes of the U.S. Supreme Court, of the federal courts, as long as we have right-wing, racist federal judges on the appellate courts and on the district federal courts. As long as those folks are a majority, you are going to get decisions that disproportionately impact black folks and people of color in a very negative way. That's what we are going to get from the U.S. Supreme Court, because it has been stacked with these crazy right-wing racist white boys like John Roberts, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh, just to name a few. Those folks are crazy, insane, right-wing, racist to the core white boys. That's who they really are. They are comparable to William Barr. William Barr is a crazy, insane, racist white boy to the core. And his position as Attorney General of the DOJ makes him worse than Trump. He's actually worse than Trump. He can do more damage than Trump could ever do, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters, unless Trump pushed the button, put in the code, and destroy us all. Trump could do that. Take a look at the U.S. Congress. Take a look at the U.S. Congress. It is a more representation of the diversity of America. Therefore, the policies and laws created by the U.S. Congress will have more justice and equality within those laws and policies. We cannot perfect positive change until we replace some of these crazy, insane, racist white boys and white girls with black folks and people of color, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Compare the U.S. Congress with the old, insane, racist white boys and white girls in the U.S. Senate, and the white boys and white girls in the white boy house. What you get from the white boy house and from the U.S. Senate is bullshit policies, bullshit laws. Like, for example, the empty police reform executive order that was signed by Trump last week. That was just a waste of time. It does nothing regarding police reform. It does nothing more than collect data. It does nothing more than kick the can down the road. Look at the weak, fake bill that the U.S. Senate presented last week. And all of those racist, crazy, insane white boys in the U.S. Senate hid behind the coon-ass black boy, Tim Scott, putting him out in the forefront to present a policy, a fake police reform bill that did nothing but, again, kick the can down the road. It had no impact on reforming police whatsoever. It is likened to the Compromise of 1877. If you're not familiar with the Compromise of 1877, a group of white racist politicians, both Democrat and Republican, met at the Wormsley Hotel in Washington, D.C., and they decided that making Rutherford B. Hayes the president would be an advantage. And they would do this compromise that included Rutherford B. Hayes. And then Rutherford B. Hayes as president would then remove all of the Union troops from the southern states that had been protecting the freed black folks, slaves, for the past 14 years. Black folks had become very successful. All of those successful black towns in the South had become very viable and successful. Black businesses were successful. Black folks had elevated themselves in the politics, economically, etc., etc. But removing the Union troops from the southern states would remove all of that protection for those successful black folks in the South and return control, the power to the white racist majority of the South. And after that compromise of 1877, black folks lost everything. All of the success for the 14 years of Reconstruction was lost. and everything reverted back to essentially slavery. Black folks in the South were enslaved again. It was the inception of the Jim Crow laws, of the sharecropping laws, etc., etc. Just another form of slavery. Racism, implicit biases, fear, and hatred of black folks is now endemic, endemic. It is now endemic in white folks. It is likened to a virus that will be among us until the end of times. Racism in white folks will be with us until the end of time. In order to contain it, we must replace many of those white folks that are in powerful, influential positions in the business arena, in the political arena, in every activity that we have to participate in. White folks must be sufficiently replaced by black folks and people of color. And only then will we begin to get laws and policies that has justice and equality within them for all Americans, including white folks, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The enemy is still with us in plain sight. The enemy is still with us in plain sight. The enemy is those crazy, insane, racist white boys and white girls. Those are our enemy. For example, the economy has been ruined by these crazy, racist, insane white folks. The climate has been damaged by decisions made by these crazy, insane, racist white folks, driven by power and money. They are on the verge of destroying the planet, which will destroy all of us, because they are too concerned, addicted to power and money. Our education arena have been destroyed because it is led by these crazy, insane, racist white boys and white girls. Hence is why all of us, including white folks, are being miseducated because of the dumb, watered-down decisions that are made by these racist white folks with watered-down genes. It is insanity, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Politics, law, labor, religion, entertainment, war, and even sex. White folks have turned that around and infiltrated, changed it, inundated sex with all of this sexual perversion, sexual molestation, misogynistic, all of this sadistic stuff that people are doing today on the 29th of June, 2020. The enemy is with us in plain sight. It is white folks, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. That's what I have on this one. Please go to the thrasherway.libsyn.com. There you will gain access to all that I do. I will talk to you again on another one real soon.